and look at your Slack and read all your internal documents, and it's just doing incredibly impressive stuff. And maybe today it is like a sort of intern that can work for a couple of hours, but at some point it'll be like an experienced software engineer that can work for days. And then we'll see this for many other categories of work. And so you hear from companies that are building agents to automate most of their customer support or their outbound sales or any number of other things. And you hear people that talk about their job now is to assign work to a bunch of agents, look at the quality, figure out how it fits together, give feedback. And it sounds a lot like how they'd work with a team of, still relatively junior employees. And that's here. It's not evenly distributed yet, but that's happening. I would bet next year that in some limited cases, at least, in some small ways, we start to see agents that can help us discover new knowledge or can figure out solutions to business problems that are kind of very non-trivial. Right now, it's very much in the category of, okay, if you've got some like repetitive cognitive work, we can automate it at a kind of a low level on a short time horizon. And as that expands to longer time horizons and higher levels, at some point you get an AI scientist, an AI agent that can go discover new science. And that will be kind of a significant moment in the world.
You said it was a moment, Codex and experiencing, coding agents was a moment you felt the AGI. So I have to ask you about that. Like, what is the definition of AGI to you now, and how far away are we from it? What will that mean for us?
I think if you could go back to most people, if you could travel back in time, just 5 years, 2020, let's say.
It's like the dark ages for AI, though.
Actually, that's a very interesting time, because I think that was, if we could go back exactly 5 years, I may get this wrong, but I think that was just before we launched GPT-3.
Okay.
So the world had not yet seen like a good language model. And if you could go back to that moment and show someone ChatGPT today, to say nothing of Codex or anything else, but just ChatGPT, I think most people would say that's AGI for sure. Mm-hmm. And so we're great at adjusting our expectations, which I think is like a wonderful thing about humanity. I think mostly the question of what AGI is doesn't matter. It is a term that people define differently. The same person often will define it differently. The thing that matters is the rate of progress that we have seen year over year for the last 5 years should continue for at least the next 5, probably well beyond that, but hard to say. And whether you declare the AGI victory in 24 or 26 or 28, and whether you declare the superintelligence victory in 28 or 30 or 32, is way less important than this one long, beautiful, shockingly smooth exponential. All of that said, to me, a system that can either autonomously discover new science or be such an incredible tool to people that our rate of scientific discovery in the world like quadruples or something, that would satisfy any test I could imagine for an AGI. Some other people would say it's got to be a system capable of self-improvement. Plenty of people would say like ChatGPT with memory today, very AGI-like.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone who taught us this 100% truth according to the spirits of be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word to the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. And peace and blessings to helpful believers out there, which are also part of the elect. To y'all say shalom. So once again, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to. So I'm going to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Forgive me, Rachakodash, the Holy Spirit. To do the lesson on today, Lord, in the feed you lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. So we got a video, all roads lead to the motb. We're going into that B system, and I got an article, but I should have a clip playing the beginning, and in the video that you see speaking, that's the person that made OpenAI, which is Sam Altman, and he's going to mention how he goes into the feature pertaining towards the beast system being established, You know what I'm saying? Which we know that the B system is going to run upon AI. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a technological Tower of Babel. You see, that's what it's going to be, where you're going to have an implantable device inside of your hand or in your brain or any part of your body, but it's going to be in your hand and your brain, because that's the things, and you're going to be using it to operate in society. And by you taking that device, that solidifies your alliance with the devil and the plans. You know what I'm saying? The wicked invention and plans he has, which makes you an enemy of the Lord, because Esau's plan really he's the harbinger of death, the son of perdition. His plan is initially is going to be to eventually drive creation into the ground. That's what it's going to lead to. Whether you see it or not, that you already see it. Sodomy, all those particular things is nothing but it brings forth death. You see? And when you read it and when you watch the clip, what did he say? He pretty much said, like, in like 2027, 2028, around that time. That's when there's going to achieve artificial governance intelligence. Then 2028, 2030, that's when they will get to artificial super intelligence. You see? What is artificial governance intelligence? AGI, what is artificial super intelligence? When you see those particular things happening now, you have Palantir, which is pretty much artificial governance intelligence. And it's almost artificial super intelligence, because artificial governance intelligence is when pretty much everything is running off of AI. And that's why in this video, I want to get into that B system, but I'm going into that artificial governance intelligence, because you have these humanoid robots, which it almost makes you think about, what you see. The elder Yariala, he put it in the chat yesterday. You had that movie Asylum, and even Elder Ashwamba, he put it in the chat about the Department of the Department of Defensive. If I think I'm saying it right, they have a contract now with OpenAI to pretty much bring forth these robots, humanoid robots. Defensive secretary, if I'm saying it right. You got all these particular things, and this is part of that vision. This is part of the vision of the devil. This is his plan. This is what he has in play, but we know that it's going to come to naught. You see? We see the left hand working right now, but we know that once the left hand works, the right hand is going to do what? Work too, and it's going to disannul it. Right? So I want to get this two things. This is Tesla Optimus Gen 3 autonomous, right? Which pretty much means where the device operates without human control. So it makes it autonomous. You see? It says, I'll read it right quick. I just got the AI overview of it. Because the reason I pulled is because you have a company known as NVIDIA, right? Which a lot of these big companies, Tesla, OpenAI, and other ones, a lot of them be using, don't misquote me. I don't know if OpenAI uses it, but I know Tesla is one of the biggest buyers for NVIDIA. And pretty much, if you look up NVIDIA, what you're going to see, most likely, you're mainly going to see it pointing towards, what is it called? PCs. PCs, making the graphics better, yada, yada, boom, boom. But initially, NVIDIA, which we're going to have another clip play, right? I'm going to play another clip, right? But initially, and I'm going to play the clip later, but initially, you have pretty much NVIDIA, they supply them with these device that helps with the autonomous, I guess you could say, autonomous devices, allows them to operate without humans, you see? And Tesla is his biggest supplier, I guess you could say. The biggest person, well, Tesla's the biggest one invested into him, buying his stuff. But it says Tesla's Optimus Gen 3, also known as Tesla Bot, is a humanoid robot designed for autonomous tasks, leveraging AI and machine learning to learn and adapt to its environment. It utilizes a deep learning neural network to understand natural language and execute commands, demonstrated by by bimanual dexterity and the ability to learn from videos. The robot is in limited production at a Fremont factory with plans for external sales potentially starting in the late 2025 or early 2026, right? And that's what it is. It says autonomous operation. Optimus is designed to perform tasks without relying on telo operation using a single neural network for control. You see, it says AI machine learning. It employs deep learning techniques, including reinforcement learning, to train and improve its capabilities. And this is what this devil wants, man. He's it's devil, because you got to think about it. You got transhumanism, which is pretty much like living out of a damn robot. It makes you think about Captain America Civil War. No, Captain America Winter Soldier. You know, I'm big into the Marvel movies, man. But if you watch Captain America Winter Soldier, one of Captain America's villains, his bad guys, and that was way back when he first became Captain America, which was like around World War II, if I'm not mistaken, World War II. And you had his villain, Red Skull, and his Red Skull had an accomplice. He had a sidekick, and I can't think of that nigga name, but nevertheless, there's a scene in the movie where Cap was inside of a facility, and the nigga came to life. The nigga was living out of a damn screen. Like, it wasn't no recorded message. Like, he was talking to him like, "Hey, Cap," whatnot, or calling him Steve Rogers, and saying about Hydra and how the government was corrupt and things like that. But nevertheless, that's what Esau want. He want to get, transhumanism, becoming immortal by way of technology. And ultimately, what we're looking at is a strive for Esau to achieve the artificial version of the birthright. You see, the artificial version of the birthright is pretty much the beast system. That's what the beast system is going to be. It's going to be pretty much his artificial form of the birthright, where he's, technology is AI, technology at an all-time high. You're living out of a robot, AGI, as we mentioned, AGI, ASI. You see? That's what the devil wants. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants the artificial version of the birthright. So let me pull this real quick. All right, I'm going to get Obadiah. First off, before I get Obadiah, I want to read Habakkuk 2, man, because we seeing that vision play out. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will not. It's like, because it will surely come and it will not tarry. And that's what we see happening. We see that vision. We see the prophecy playing out of this devil trying to establish his NW to the O, his artificial version of the birthright. We see it, and we're looking at the particular technology. He's spearheading it, AI. Brothers do it all the time, man. You go on ChatGPT, you ask, how would the Chaldeans operate today? How would Nimrod? I looked up how would Nimrod operate today, and they all point back to it'll be a technocratic government ran off of technology. You see, using technology, which is just more evident, which we already knew this, but it's just more evident that this devil, you know what I'm saying, that's what this devil's trying to do. And he's them back here today. You see, he's the modern day Pharaoh. No, he's modern day Nimrod, which Nimrod name means rebellion. That's what Esau is. He's just rebelling against the Lord, building his technological Tower of Babel. Tower of bullshit. Babel, which means confusion. But it's just been with Tower of Babel, just like, it just makes you think about when somebody says you're just babbling. Like you're speaking bullshit, you're just babbling. But Babel means confusion. Right? So, yeah, we see the vision playing out, man. So I'm going to get this scripture real quick. I know it's in 2 Thessalonians, but my phone like it's tripping. Let's put it wrong. Yeah, Second Thessalonians. Right, this is Second Thessalonians. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4 says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship." Right? What you see happening, the whole system is really he put himself as the Most High and his son. He made him an Edomite. Everything, man. It shows you that he's against the Lord. He's in opposition against the Lord and his people. But it says, so that he, as God, sitteth in a temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's what Esau wants. You know, but when you think about this AI and all these particular things, these devices, ultimately it's to control you. He wants to have complete control. And that's why that Palantir is scaring a lot of people out here, but they don't know how to escape it, because Palantir, the head of Palantir, Alex Harp, and the nigga who even invented Palantir, which was Peter Thiel, that nigga's a demon. He funds, he's the biggest investor for a lot of the technology. He invested in Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. He invested in which in Mark Zuckerberg Facebook, when you look at the concept of it, literally Mark Zuckerberg is like the godhead of Facebook. He controls certain guidelines, particular things you could say, particular things you can't say. Even with PayPal, in a sense, PayPal's like that in a sense, you see? Because PayPal allows you to be able to buy particular things and avoiding fraud. And that's how Palantir, that's how Esau wants it to work for the government as far as his agenda, being able to track down and being able to see those that come up against the government. But the thing is that that's what Israel's going to get. Israel's going to have the capability, but it's going to be on the right-hand side. We're going to be capable of knowing whether or not when the heathen nations are trying to come up against us, or they're starting to do, or they're going against the rule that we established. But we're gonna be, but we know why they're gonna be doing it, because we're gonna have the power to send demons on them to do so. That's what Esau's trying to do on the left hand side. He's trying to have the ability to have Godhead on earth, have jurisdiction over everything, which he has that. But he wants to go as far as to having control over the Lord's woman and all of creation. He want to be the Lord, as we reading it right here. And that's why you look at this technology. That's what it is. That's what it's forwarding. It's forwarding Esau's vision about him achieving Godhead on his earth. But we know that that's not going to happen. You see? So I got this other article, right? This is an NVIDIA article, actually. And it says, Hexagon taps NVIDIA robotics and AI software to build and deploy Aeon. I think I'm saying it right, Eon or Aeon, a new humanoid robot. And when you think about these humanoid robots, right? Because I ain't finished the point I made on the movie. You know, when you watch Avengers, Age of Ultron, right? What happened was the point of Tony Stark, Iron Man. The reason that he made Ultron was so he could fulfill his vision of a suit of armor around the world. Now, what is a suit of armor around the world? And that brings me back to the point I was stating earlier with Elder Yariala. Elder Yariala, he put it in the chat talking about what? That movie Asylum, if I'm saying it right. And what was it? AI governance. You had to go up. The police was freaking robots, humanoid robots, autonomous humanoid robots. You know, that's what you had. You had autonomous humanoid robots. That was the police. They'll check you in, you go to your job. They'll check and see. It wasn't they could have had it, but pretty much they'll check your bag, make sure you ain't got no weapons, things like that, man. That's what Esau's heading to. And this thing was published June the 7th, 2025, the hopeful year of Esau's destruction and our deliverance. You see? That's what that was posted, man. I mean, that's when it was posted, Slocky. But that's what happened in the movie. You see? But I'm going to read a little bit. It's probably not too much on it, but the title is really what it was. It says a global labor shortage leaves 50 million positions unfilled across the industries like manufacturing, logistics, Hexagon, a global leader in measurement technologies, developing humanoid robots to replace humans, pretty much, that can lend a helping hand. Industrial sectors depend on skilled workers to perform a variety of error-prone tasks. You see, so the thing with AI is going to be able to help with the slack. Because, that's what was said in that video of Sam Altman. He said, like, AI super intelligence will be to the point to where you will be able to, in other words, I think he said AI super intelligence or AI governance. But bottom line, he said where they're able. First, he said they're going to work as an intern, then they're going to lead to them being actual, doing not an intern no more, but employees in a sense. Agents, my bad. They're going to be agents. That's what he said. And then eventually it will lead to, he said, scientists, and they'll be able to help solve the world problems. You see? Help solve the world problems. Man. So we're going to read a little bit more. It says, in developing humanoid robots that can help lend a hand. It says industrial sectors depend on skilled workers to perform a variety of error-prone tasks, including operating high-precision scanners for reality capture. These processes are capturing digital data to replicate the real world in simulation. And that's what I was going to say on that, because that's all we really need to know on there, man. You see, but this is the vision of this devil, man. So this is Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. What is the image of the beast? The image of the beast is based upon the ancient pagan Roman Empire, man. That's what Esau's trying to bring in the earth, man. That's what he's trying to forward, that wickedness in the earth. That's the image of the beast. The ancient pagan Roman Empire, man. But it's just going to be a technology, a techno version of it, which is going to initially be Esau achieving Godhead on earth. Right? It says that, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And that's the point too. He has power. He's in the power seat right now. And this is what this devil's doing. But it's going over everybody's head. You see? And he prophesies, and he tells you in the movies. He tells you how what? He tells you how you got particular things. He tells you how pretty much, you got iRobot, which is literally what it is. Will Smith was fucking crazy for saying how the robots was going to do this, they're going to do that. You had iRobot. You got, what's another movie where robots running shit? Well, Asylum, if I'm saying it right, or Asylum, or Asylum, that's one of them. And the fucking bounty hunter, that movie was a fucking, he was a biometric nigga with a fucking exosuit, if I'm not mistaken. And you had, I can't think of it. There's other movies too, man. But Upgrade's a good one too. It doesn't have the humanoid robots, but it do show you that device of the biometric aspect, the transhumanism of it. You see? Now, keep going. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak, and they cause it as many would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. And that's what we coming to, man. The Lord got Esau in a power seat to do what he needs to do so he could be taken out of the way, as you read about that in that Second Thessalonians. Only he will let until he be taken out of the way. You see, so the Lord got Esau in the position to do what he needs to do, and we know what's next. You see, as we went into yesterday at camp, how we see all this stuff going on in Iran and what is Israel and Iran. But we do know that World War III is not going to come until the mark of the, the motb be established, fully established under the penalty of death. So we know, and that's what we see happening, really, man. Like as he's doing, like as Esau has this war going on, he's really using that to give him more reason to pretty much bring forth this technology. You already hear the talks about the Palantir. We're gonna need a social credit system and all those particular things. AI governance, AI human intelligence. All it is it's a cover up to why his solution is gonna be that beast system being established. You see? So this is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, right? where it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashmah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And that's what we see, man. The Lord has indignation forever. You see? This is the border of wickedness. These are the people that, you know what I'm saying, they're the border. It don't get no worse than them, man. They're the territory of wickedness. But as he's returning to rebuild a desolate place, the Lord's going to put a stop to that. And that's what we see, man. You could keep coming, keep what they say in Nemo, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's what we tell Esau, just keep building, just keep building. Why? Because we know that this is going to be him fulfilling his tab for the Lord to take his nigga out. You see? For the Lord to take that nigga out, man. This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, and that's what we see, man. That's why Esau talks the way that he talk. You see in that Sam Altman video, this nigga Esau talking about, this is what we got planned. Nah, nigga, your plan is going to be to get destroyed eventually. That's what's going to be your plan eventually, man. You see, so I'm going to end it off with this one. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to disappoint you. Read about it in Job 20. I think you started like verse 20 on down. It says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Esau, you ain't that smart. You ain't smarter than the power of knowledge that gave you that knowledge. And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. You see? So that's what's going to happen, man. That's going to be the end result. And hey, that's the spirit, man. I'm looking at it. You got the brother GMS Gabar War. It's called humanoid tech for a reason. And that's funny. I'm literally going... right now, we're going into humanoid robots. You see? Which shit, when you watch the movie Upgrade, Esau had it to where like he could take that C-hip and put it in your brain, and he could make you a human robot. You see? It ain't just like a robot that's like a human or a timeless humanoid robot. It could be an actual Esau. Hey, man. You see? He has that. It kind of made me think about the Demolition Man. When you had Wesley Snipes come back, he was amped up because Esau tweaked him with technology to make him a better. But the thing that he couldn't do is he couldn't kill the president or the person in charge. But yeah, man, Lord willing, this is edifying to the parents. Pretty good. How much I'm shy, man. All roads lead to the ship, and I said it, whatever. All roads lead to the C-hip, man, and we almost up out of here, man. That system is very evident. The B system, the technology, we see it, man. It's clear as day. We just got to keep pushing, keep serving, man. So Lord, when it's edifying, we're going to end up saying call law. And also, too, so like I'm going to have a clip play at the end of the NVIDIA dude. But Lord is edifying, we end up saying call law, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. I want to give them honor to the apostles at a great millstone. To y'all, I'm going to say shalom.
Virtual worlds could live in super linear time, super real time, and train these AI models incredibly fast. And we need it to be integrated harmoniously into a framework that is used by roboticists all over the world, Mujoko. And so today we're announcing something really, really special. It is a partnership of 3 companies, DeepMind, Disney Research, and NVIDIA, and we call it Newton. Let's take a look at Newton. Thank you. All right, let's start that over, shall we? Let's not ruin it for them. Hang on a second. Somebody talk to me. I need feedback. What happened? I just need a human to talk to. Come on, that's a good joke. Give me a human to talk to. Janine, I know it's not your fault, but talk to me. We just got 2 minutes left.
I'm right here. They're re-racking it.
They're re-racking it? I don't even know what that means. Okay. Tell me that wasn't amazing. Hey, Blue. How are you doing? How do you like your new physics engine? You like it, huh? Yeah, I bet. I know. Tactile feedback, rigid body, soft body simulation, super real time. Can you imagine just now what you were looking at is complete real time simulation? This is how we're going to train robots in the future. Just so you know, Blue has 2 computers, 2 NVIDIA computers inside. Look how smart you are. Yes, you're smart. Okay. All right. Hey, Blue, listen. How about let's take them home? Let's finish this keynote. It's lunchtime. Are you ready? Let's finish it up. We have another announcement. You're good. You're good. Just stand right here. Stand right here. Stand right here. All right, good. Right there.